welcome back to another episode of Darkmount After Dark. I'm your host, TheAbsoluteDegenerate, and once again, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Flamewave and Arkham Knight Rider. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing pretty epic, not gonna lie.
Doing good. Just did some work, but now I'm gonna do the podcast.
Yeah, I feel like absolute shit. So, yeah. Y'all get any new figures recently or anything? Or
No. I haven't gotten any. Saving
No.
all my bills.
Me neither. I got like one fucking. I have like one figure coming in, but it's not even a Transformer. Like most of the stuff I even want that's coming out from Kingdom, which we'll be mentioning Kingdom again. Well, in more than just one segment, but most of the stuff I want that's coming out in that isn't coming out yet. And as for Studio Series, I'm interested in very little of what's been announced.
Yeah.
For me, I've been recently updating my collection, which I post in figure photography. What are your thoughts on that? I know, Flame, you made a comment about
it looks, the way you post your figures reminds me of The Last Supper. You know, that painting with,
which
all
one?
them gods. You know, the painting with Jesus in the middle.
And
and
I know the
table.
painting with Jesus.
All of them look like that in like the way they're set up. I like that. I don't know, it's just funny to me.
Yeah, what I want to do is I always want to have like an action scene with them all, because I still have the Prime War stuff displayed I usually do them, but one of the things I've always hated with figure posing is that they're always either just kind of vague action poses or the typical two sides gonna start fighting. I find those boring, so I want to do an actual fight scene, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I have my...
What are your thoughts, Connor, on it?
I mean, I haven't gotten too creative with my displays or anything. I might change up that top display I have since it's been like that for literal years at this point.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've swapped some stuff around on my shelves and on the top of my closet, but yeah, I mean, usually I have this Transformers shit is usually displayed by faction. So one shelf is Decepticons, another shelf is Autobots, because I don't have one big shelf where I can just put two factions side by side, doing them in poses and shit. No, I gotta keep that shit separate. But the other thing is that the way I set up my figures is like if they were on a character select screen, basically, of like a fighting game or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's basically how we do it.
5 was just a mess of a release all around for Street Fighter, so
yeah.
Also
playing those games is like, I think Razorfist sums this up. It's basically every character seems like they're in molasses, which is fine for Mortal Kombat, which is more about fatal blows. Street Fighter is about quick combat, and the quick combat is kind of neutered when every character moves as if they have trench foot.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things where it's like, I don't like. I love what's his name, Akuma, but I would see no reason to play as him.
Yeah.
Just because it's like he has insane strength, yeah, but he's like the least durable character.
Yeah. I need to try out. I'm wondering if the Switch got the update as well for Mortal Kombat, because I was just reminded of less durable. I was thinking of Shao Kahn, who has awesome damage but sluggish. They can protect every move.
God, you just reminded me of an idea I've never fucking talked about in an actual fucking video segment, but might as well use now too. What if fucking somehow Hasbro and Paramount got fucking NetherRealm to make an MK style based game for Bayverse?
That would be insane. That would be so fucking cool. Just to see maybe how the fatalities would be. For example, Optimus Prime, for his fatality, he would use his axe to dissect a head off, like he did in
that would
or for Bumblebee, he's fighting Soundwave, right? and like he just shoves his fist into his chest and like stabs his stinger through him, dissecting him in two. Like
The
something.
cannon. Or use the cannon.
Or the
He did-
cannon. I don't care. Either way, it's still badass.
First Bumblebee was pissing on dudes. Now then he went from that to fisting motherfuckers. I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think.
Fucking spit roasting the dude with one fucking hand, man.
No. Bumblebee should be on a fucking watch list or something.
Yeah. Motherfuckers better be scared. They better be scared of him now. Decepticons beware. The Bumble Fister is here.
Yo, dude, the Cybertronian booty warrior.
Oh no.
It's Fleece Bumble Johnson.
Fleece Bumble
Bonson. It's Beast Bonson.
What the
A Decepticon's skid plate. A Cybertronian butt end.
Well, it's just like it's like one figure that you never really touch and you only got because it was like really cheap.
Well, that's easy. That's easy. Airwave.
For me, and I know Arkham's gonna kill me for this one. It's Thrilling 30's Roadbuster.
I love that figure, but I can understand someone not playing around with it. It's not. I don't play around with it as much as I used to.
He's an okay.
It's good, but I just have it sitting around on my shelf and
you too?
dust of holding all of its weapons and shit. When I bought that thing for my bike, what was it, my 16th birthday? Like, I got it for a really good deal, actually. It was like, I believe.
Yeah, I got my good deal too. It was like $12.
Yeah, I got
something like that.
It was like $21.
Damn. Like, I just, when I first bought it, I'm like, you know what? I have an idea. Let's just put all the stickers on. And I did that. I regret it. But, I've managed to put them in the right places. And how in the instructions it says, like, you can only put one of these logos on him, right? Either the Wrecker logo or, the Autobot symbol. Bitch, you can put two of them on there. And it's just, it still works.
But by the way, doesn't he usually wear the fucking Autobot symbol anyway?
Yeah, only I believe in IDW that he wears the Wrecker symbol on him. I don't know. Anyway.
IDW fans will still cry. IDW fans will still cry. It's like, we need more IDW fans. Motherfuckers, you got an entire fucking line dedicated to your shit. With a few exceptions. I think like one of the what were the exceptions? Like Armada Starscream?
Well, Armada Starscreams, that design did appear in IDW. But I guess. And then I guess there was also the Waspinator.
That was a great figure.
Yeah.
And there's the repaint. That's about it.
Yeah. And I believe that mini-con team. There was that mini-con team.
Yeah, no, but for the most part, it was just like pure IDW.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking...
No, there was Tankor.
Yeah.
I could kind of... IDW fans, how does it feel to know that company is just, like, bleeding money?
Oh, yeah.
They did end the run, though, the GU1 run. Now they're going into the mediocre run, from what I can tell. I know people who defended the new run, but I'm just not interested at all.
I just don't... I have no reason to like care about like fucking modern comics over here. Like, at least it's obviously not dead in like fucking, if you go to like European areas, like that's something I remember Razorfist pointed out as well, since you mentioned him earlier. Like, when people are wrong when they say the Western comics industry is dead. No, it's just the US comics industry.
Yeah, like, what was it? Like in other places, like the comic industry is booming, right? Because it's in some places, especially in Europe, it's like heavily ingrained in their culture, like through newspaper comics and all that stuff, right? So, everywhere else it isn't dead, but in the US, it's crumbling, man. And you can just watch a bunch of videos on why, it's crumbling. It's sad, but the other thing is, it's like nobody's really reading comics anymore. That's the other thing, because it's just like the shit that's gonna be in the comics is when we're talking about like Marvel, for example, right? The shit that's gonna be in the comics is gonna be like in the MCU in like a few years. So really, nobody's really missing out on anything, and like it's just whatever. And that's all it is. It's just a whatever thing now.
Like last comic, I think I ended up bringing 2 comics. None some of the idea because actually, for the most part, there's some crap elements like what they did with RC and all, but for the most part, I enjoyed the original G1 2005 run of IDW a lot. I think it's some of the most interesting character stuff that they've done for Transformers. I read that, and I read the Pumpkinhead comic that I forgot, was it Dynamite that released that in 2018? That's all the comics I've read lately. So I did try to read Deathstroke Rebirth, and I kind of hated it.
Dude,
didn't think it was as good as
the comic thing I bought recently wasn't even recent. It was just a fucking copy of Hush.
Yeah, I bought this was like several years ago. Like I believe 2017, 2018 roughly. And I was in Greece, right, for a trip, and there was a comic book store in Athens, and I went in, and they had like a trade paperback of Beast Wars, like the IDW Beast Wars run, the one where Maximal Grimlock appears, right, that one. I read through that; it's pretty fucking good. I also bought a trade paperback of like the G1 Marvel comics. It was like in a volume 2. It was okay, but like overall, those were like the only 2 comics I read like so far. Like I have a bunch of others, but like as of now, recently, it was just Transformers. I haven't read anything else.
Yeah. I think another thing that's more popular now is where like adaptations of comics are more popular as of late. Like I guarantee you, people who've watched like The Boys and Invincible don't, for the most part, don't actually read the comics. They just say, "Oh my goodness, it's shocking that superheroes do violent things." And granted, one of those, I like one of those 2 shows, so I'm like, that's there, but the point still stands.
I mean, I've heard conflicting things. Like I've heard like in some ways the comic for you're talking about like Invincible and The Boys, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
I've heard the comic for Invincible is a bit better in areas, whereas the series is
Yeah, the series, I mean, I still don't think like the characters like the New Guardians should be just removed entirely. They serve zero purpose.
It would be worse. You could get cucked as often as Peter Parker, so
Yeah.
Well, poor Peter.
I don't like Peter Parker that much as a character, but poor bastard, man.
Yeah. Like in the comics, I mean, I don't really like Peter Parker in the comics. I mean, I just find him going through the same shit over and over and over again. I mean, listen, I don't like Linkara, but like he was right in that One More Day video when he said like, why do you need to retread certain aspects of the character? Why can't you just let, Spider-Man / Peter Parker move on in life? Like, why do you have to have him in high school all the time? Why do you have to have him in like,
dude, if you ask that question in reference to Transformers, you'd have the same fucking G1ers just like crying like idiots.
Yeah, like that's another thing too with like certain story aspects of the Transformers. Why can't for example, like the Allspark, right? Why can't that ship be destroyed on Cybertron and not on Earth? Why can't it, do something? Why can't it be different, right? Why can't it be different? But no, all these G1ers and Hasbro, admittedly, wants to keep it safe. Now, in Hasbro's case, understandable, right? You want to keep it, they don't want to take any risks. If they take any risks,
they don't want
it's usual business shit. But these G1ers are so. Not just G1ers, but like pretty much the entire fandom. Not saying like there's creative people in this fandom. I understand, right? I mean, including me. But there's a subset of people that just want to retread the same shit without like changing anything, and they also are the same people who want the most like outlandish and the most craziest things from, like, for example, the movies, right? Like, these are the same people who want, I don't know, Soundwave to transform into a cassette player, or see Bumblebee have a more quote unquote G1 look, even though Bumblebee in the Bumblebee movie already has quite a G1 look. So
he needs to have a terrible looking face.
He would have had a horrific face.
Yeah,
People want a horrific face, buddy. I've seen what a horrific face on a Bumblebee looks like. Okay, I've seen it, man.
He needs to look like something you'd see getting pulled into a child molester's van.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is what G1 Bumblebee looks like.
Yeah, no,
he looks like a guy wearing cardboard boxes, running around, doing that shit.
I mean, do you think there are creepy motherfuckers on Cybertron who transform into vans and kidnap fucking tiny motherfuckers?
Yes. They capture hatchlings to throw them into their little compartment. You know what I mean? I mean, there's this one guy though. You may have heard of him. He transforms into a Jeep. Yeah, I don't know, man. That guy gives me some really wrong vibes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hound.
Yeah. Yeah, he just kind of.
He was a little too in the first season. He was a little too close to Spike.
He's a little too handsy, I would say. Yeah.
A little too handsy.
A little too handsy, a little too antsy down there. You know what I mean? Like a strange guy.
He was a tricky person. You might be saying.
A tricky guy. Real tricky guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fucking. It could be worse. There's worse. That's a good point. We've dabbled on enough, so we might as well get into that. Let me just pull it up real quick. To start off, since this isn't, I'd say this is like, while it's definitely the more relevant of the two, there's less involved. So, but basically, I'm pretty sure a few of you are aware by now, but recently Hasbro reviewed a 2-pack for Transformers Kingdom of Maximal Grimlock and Earth Mode Mirage. And what do y'all think of it? Because I hate that alt mode for Mirage.
Yeah. Well, let's start with me, I guess. I mean, Maximal Grimlock. Now, this is a very highly anticipated release. We've waited for this ever since, like, I would say roughly, in terms of generation shit, like Universe 08. I mean, obviously that Dinobot mold from Universe 08 is shit, but no, we've been waiting for this for a while now, and it's out. And I've seen what people thought about it, of it having not having the spots that Maximal Grimlock is usually seen as, or having a brighter gold, shit like that. But honestly, I don't mind it. Like it's cool, but I don't really like. I like the way they the black bit like over the Dinos mode's head, and I also like the shade of gold that they use. It's interesting, but the best part, I think, in my opinion, about that, it's got to be like the head sculpt. That head sculpt is really cool. Actually, you know what? It reminds me a lot of Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, but if it were just like meshed with like Beast Wars Dinobot. It's in the eyes.
I could kind of see it, although I never was he in the OG Beast Wars, because I never watched.
No, he was in the toy line, but not in the show. No.
Yeah, no.
Because I
guess you could. Oh, sorry.
I was thinking I have like no legit connection to fucking Beast Wars, so it's hard for me to care about him.
I mean, I have a connection to him, sort of. I've seen him in the Beast Wars comic that I mentioned. He had like a cameo appearance. I think he fought like Magnaboss or something. I don't know. I gotta crack that thing open again, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of Grimlock, Arkham?
Grimlock's fine. I think Dinobot looks better, but then because I've become a big fan of Dinobot as a character, and this I have no real connection to. The face sculpt looks good. It's kind of a generic Optimus. I mean, I love faceplate characters, but It's kind of a generic faceplate looking. It's a good head sculpt, but it's kind of generic. The color scheme's fine. I didn't care about the polka dots because I barely know anything about the original toy. Other than it exists, I guess. It's fine. It's a bit bland for my taste. I prefer Dinobot, but if I were given this thing, I would be satisfied.
Nah, dude, remember, they gotta add the polka dots, otherwise they're gonna call Adam Raceworski to bomb the Hasbro building.
Yes.
Again? Oh no. Again.
Oh yes.
No. Again. Oh no. Oh, how horrible. And send money for transaction. Best money ever spent.
All right.
Connor. I already said that I don't care about Maximal Grimlock. I have no reason to get this thing. I'll just say fucking this is why you don't, but like I said, my actual issue with it is that fucking Mirage. This is why you don't retool a Cybertronian mode that was clearly never meant to transform, that clearly unless you do some legit heavy remolding, which on a figure like that I don't think Hasbro is gonna. You're not gonna make it look like an actual, what was it, a Formula One car. So
yeah. I have the most to say about Mirage, so I'm just gonna say it now. I hate this Mirage. I really do. I'm gonna ignore. Let's ignore the fact he doesn't have a port for his stupid missile launcher. Everything about this in robot mode just looks weird and chunky. Like the original Mirage, I actually own. It's a great figure. And a lot of people don't like it for stupid reasons, but the figure is nice. It's chunky. It's well proportioned. This is just this weird boxy shapes. Nothing feels correct. Like the legs, particular, I don't like. There's these weird. There's these weird blocks slapped onto them, on the front, knee pads, and don't look good at all. It's only there because of vehicle mode. Chest looks horrible as well because, again, the spoiler kind of ruins the aesthetic. The face sculpt is fine, I guess, and the accessories are good, but those were from the previous things. So, I mean, yeah. And then we get the transformation. The alt mode it exists, but it just has no personality to it. Because again, remember that original creative and interesting design they did with the Mirage's alt mode? Not here. It's just gonna be yet another race car. We've gotten a few of these already, and they're not very interesting. And this one in particular is not very interesting.
I would strongly disagrey with you that the OG War for Cybertron Mirage had a interesting alt mode. I think it was already kind of bland. The problem is, for this to be a convincing Earth mode Mirage, they would have had to change up so much such that you would have needed an entirely different mold, at least in my opinion. But it just looks bad.
It does. It looks again.
Yeah,
I know people disagree.
The paint on it looks very
fucking thighs.
Yeah, they did. What?
No, why would they fucking do that?
I think it's so it doesn't look bad. I think so it doesn't look bad. Right? Or it's not because again, gotta really use that paint budget up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very interested in this box set overall.
Yeah, not one.
I mean, my opinion on the Mirage now, listen, I own one good figure of Mirage, that being the Classics one. That one is fucking awesome.
Is that the one with the weird proportions?
Yes, and it's still fucking good. It's still fucking good.
It's probably a good toy, and I like that they tried something interesting to design. I just don't like how it looks.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your opinion, and,
No, I know. I'm probably in the minority about that. People like it, it's fine. I mean,
it's well articulated and everything. But anyway, that's for another time. I have the Combiner Wars one, which we can all agree is a piece of fucking shit. It was supposed to be drag strip, and it only works as drag strip. But as Mirage, it doesn't work. It looks like my ass. It feels like ass. Everything feels like ass. It just looks like ass. It's just ass.
Everything is ass.
Everything about that version of the mold is just ass. But the thing I was gonna say was Kingdom Mirage looks very chalky looking. Like again, the paint looks weird. It's like I mean, it's just in general, it's just a strange retool. And like honestly, you know for a fact people are just gonna buy this set just for the Grimlock. They're just probably gonna sell the fucking Mirage online anyway. I mean, it's just like there's just too much like it's just a sea of blue in all vehicle mode. Like I couldn't even tell if it were an Earth mode at first. Like yeah, there's a visible cockpit there, right? But like at first glance, it's not really that noticeable because it's just in a sea of blue. You just can't see it. They should have at least maybe painted some black in there, you know. But you know, they didn't. They didn't. And another thing as well, it's just like it could have worked so much better if they just gave him the toy head instead of just, you know, the planned G1 tune head sculpt. Because I think that would have gave it more personality, in my opinion. And it probably would have looked way better than that fucking transparent Mirage that had the cartoon head. You know what I mean? Like they could have worked on there, but they didn't. And another thing as well, it's just like, you know, this set in general, I feel is going to be like another Autobot Counterforce 2-pack situation over here in Canada because one, it's probably going to like be on clearance all the time on Amazon. Well, not all the time, but it's probably going to be on sale once in a while on Amazon. And they're probably just going to have a bunch of these. And I bet the other set they're going to release is going to be more sought after because, well, you know, apparently we're getting like a Beast Wars 2 Skywarp. So, like, guess that's going to be scalped. Oh, and Earth mode Sideswipe. You know, Pat Lee's favorite character. But yeah.
But also in other news, Takara is coming out with a new exclusive line. What was it called? Fucking
premium finishes or whatever.
Yeah, it's something like
something
that.
Premium.
Yeah. Let me check. Premium finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, let me read this real quick. Yeah, they first revealed so far, like all we have confirmed is like there was like all we really have confirmed that like I'm willing to say with like confidence is a premium finish Studio Series 01 Bumblebee, which is going for 4,180 yen. You know, so like for 4,180 yen. You know, so like basically rounded out to about $38. And the and a premium finish War for Cybertron of Voyager Optimus, going for like 6,380 yen. So that's about apparently $58.20. This is all like according to TFW and stuff like that. So I know y'all have both definitely seen it. All right.
Yeah, I've seen it countless of times.
Maybe I think the Optimus looks fine.
Yeah, the Optimus looks pretty cool. I like the, you know,
I love how the
saturated
Optimus
colors
looks.
And shit. That's neat.
Then again, I've always had a soft spot for this mold. I've always loved the Siege Prime mold. I'm glad they're giving it a little more love. Bumblebee, it looks better. It looks a lot better towards the paint department. It looks has more personality to it than the original Volkswagen Beat, which looking at it now just looks kind of ugly and bleh. Like the paint's a lot better. It's probably not going to be it's going to have the same. Hopefully, it'll have better plastic than the original, but I doubt that. Still in hopes. Won't be buying it though.
I don't know. I don't know how much you could really do to fix that, like paint wise, when it's just like for everything I've seen of it and everything I've heard about it, it's just like this cramped little fucking figure that's a pain in the ass.
No, I'm not talking about engineering. I'm talking about the paint wise. Like it's the paint wise is so much better.
No,
Okay.
I'm
Like if you look at,
saying though, like fucking, I personally would not be willing to pay that kind of money for a figure I already don't care about.
I agree. I see your point.
But, I mean, I just think it all. Also, I just think it looks. I just think the mold kind of looks shitty.
Yeah.
Like,
Which would you mean, in vehicle mode or in robot mode?
oh, robot mode, vehicle mode is meh for Studio Series Volkswagen Bumblebee.
Yeah. I don't mind the look per se. My problem was never the look. It looks fine. Like it's an interesting little piece of concept. Okay, fine. I don't mind that. My issue is the plastic quality, the articulation, and just how the
Yeah,
transformation.
I
That's
don't
always been
own
my
it.
issue with it.
I don't own it, so I can't like say on a personal level. But it does. Does it have like a problem where it always like falls apart in areas?
It's not that it falls apart; is that you can't really get it to fit together
Yeah,
perfectly
that's
well.
what I've heard. I've
No
like
wonder
heard.
why it's
Yeah.
shelf warmed so hard.
No, it
Like,
didn't show. What do you mean? It didn't.
I mean, oh no, I'm thinking of the
The repaint
yeah,
shelf form.
repaint, yeah.
The
That
repaint
fucking
shelf
thing.
form, but the original did not. Original went
Yeah.
out of stock
But
pretty
the,
quickly.
I've seen reviews of the original, and it's like, ugh, like it's just, it's like, I mean, from the front, right? If you remove all the kibble from the robot mode, it looks superb. It looks cool. But like,
I don't.
it's just like a mess. And I've
Here's
seen,
the weird.
I've heard the way it transforms too. Like, especially from here right now, it's like you basically shove everything in it. It's not really clean. You know, from what I've heard. And I've heard isn't the masterpiece any better though? But isn't that
don't know.
like
Nor do I
made
care for it.
entirely out of transparent plastic? I might be wrong on this, but like, who knows, man? It's just like a whatever figure. And like, I mean, the paint job on the premium one that they just showed looks cool. It's neat. It has more personality. It looks like how it did in the movie, but like the mold itself is just unworthy. You know,
Yeah.
like, I would have preferred like a repaint of like Jeep Bumblebee because that mold has way more love behind it. You know,
Yeah.
compared to Volkswagen Bumblebee.
I haven't bought the Jeep Bumblebee.
I
Because,
want one.
I didn't buy the Jeep Bumblebee because it was just bad timing. I wanted there were multiple times where I was close to getting it, but then price spike or other things came to mind. So I don't have that Jeep Bumblebee, but I do have the Volkswagen one, and the Volkswagen one it looks fine. Like the design, I'm probably going to be the only one here that says I actually like how it looks. It's just I don't like how it's constructed.
All right, and I think if it were a bit bigger, I think it would have been better. You know, just like a tad bit bigger.
No,
you know, if Studio Series
Bumblebee is always small.
Scale, if it didn't give a shit about scale, then maybe it could have been better. But who knows? You know.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I don't mind the scale of it because
Me neither. But
it's
the same
again.
thing though. Could have been better.
I think Studio Series never has. Okay, people say that Studio Series is about accuracy and scale. It's never been about that.
Ha! No, it never was. Like,
been
look,
about
how
that.
can a GMC top kick be bigger than a Peter? No, was it? No, yeah, it was a Peterbilt long nose truck. How can that happen? How?
It's about scale only in regards to the fucking robot mode, which makes sense. I'm like, you know how small they would have to be for like the vehicles to be accurate.
Yeah, and it's funny because we actually kind of do have some accurate scale stuff within the older lines of the Bayver shit, like Deluxe Hunt for the Decepticons Iron Eye. That one actually I've seen scales really well with Studio Series in terms of vehicle mode, but not so much in robot mode.
Yeah. Just for again, you know what though? Okay, these are two figures that were out of stock for a while. So if you really wanted those two figures, if you want a Bumblebee, and I know there are people out there who really did want and I know people who actually end up getting Bumblebee anyways, but those who really want that Bumblebee, Volkswagen B, this is a good way to get it. I mean, it's not a good figure. It looks fine, but it's structure-wise not good. Maybe this new line will improve the QC the plastic, terrible plastic that the original had.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
definitely. I mean, it's
Yeah,
Takara, right? So like,
yeah, it's got better
you know,
plastic.
they probably are going to improve the plastic, and you know, honestly, it's kind of funny because the day before this shit got like fully announced, like before we've seen like full images on how like the repaints were going to look like, I was talking to some people on another server, and I was saying like, man, remember when Takara used to do like their own repaints of like Chug figures, you know, that were released, you know, in US and stuff like that, like in North Americans.
Wait. Was that when that one fucker started whining about actual consumer options?
I
Yeah.
think so, but
Yes.
Fucking
yeah,
FUD
like
moment. Fuck FUD. You know what? I'm gonna say it on here. I don't care if he hears it. Fuck FUD.
No, he'll probably laugh and say, "Yeah, I know, I am bad." Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm morally bankrupt in every other. That's a story for another day. Maybe
yeah,
That's a
that's
story for another
you're
day, in case
never
we're
probably gonna
interested.
tell because that's just like no.
I
But
might. I
you
might. I'm
might,
an asshole. I
but
might.
I might join in, but yeah.
anyway, you know, like it used to when Takara did that. In some instances, they actually improved the engineering of the figures. By the way, like especially in their first wave of classics, premium. I guess yeah, it's like their OG premium shit. Like in terms of classic stuff, like when it came to figures like Universe Ratchet, right? Now we all know that figure is kind of stinky, but the version I bought is like the Henkei version. And the Henkei version, in terms of paint job, vastly, and I mean vastly, improves the thing by a way that is, you know, unexpected. Which is it removes the paint that was on the original, and it makes it the vehicle mode, the jigsaw of a vehicle mode, look actually consistent. Because like they painted the windows, you know, like a cobalt blue to match the transparent blue windows and shit. And in terms of like the engineering ability, not engineering ability, but the engineering improvement, they actually, when it came to the hot shot, apparently they improved the engineering on that thing actually. Like they fixed like I believe the back kibble, the way it was oriented. Anyway, you know, like Takara did all this shit before, and he did a really good job before. I mean, yeah, you know, they had some of their stinker repaints like FOC Skywarp, because that FOC Skywarp repaint they did was like it literally looks like Hot Link. Like there's just too much purple on that thing. But you know, they're generally good at this, right? And it gives the buyer an option of which version I should buy. Should I buy the Takara version or the Hasbro version? And usually, you know, most of the time they'll go for the Hasbro version since it's more cheaper. But if you're fortunate like me, who has a comic book store that sells this shit for amazing prices, then you know if you see like a repaint of, let's just say, I don't know, like T30 Roadbuster, right, by Takara, then like, you know, and it's like at a good price, go for it, because that shit's worth it. It really is worth it on your shelf, man. I'm telling you. And this premium line that they're doing, if some way, you know, this stuff gets localized, which I bet it won't. If it does, though, oh boy, this shit's gonna be flying off, you know,
Yeah.
the online shelf.
Another thing to point out is with the Optimus. It's like that figure is out of stock now, and we haven't gotten we got like 50 re-releases of the Earthrise mold. It's like we've barely gotten any releases of the original like Siege mold, because that thing was out of stock. I was lucky to get it along with the Megatron, like I think in December of 2018 or 2019. No, not December of 2019, but December of 2018, I believe. Yeah, I managed to snag that, and again, people who didn't get the opportunity to get that, because I know a lot of Megatrons appeared, but not many Optimuses. This is a good opportunity to get this version, especially what I think is probably the best. Excluding the SS-44 is my favorite Optimus from Chug that I own. So yeah, this is a really cool way to get that mold, and it's based on the show, which I love. So yeah, if I want a more show accurate version, this definitely would have been up for me. I might get it one day. I don't know. Depends though. But yeah.
But yeah, before we wrap things up, two things actually before I get to something that I alluded to earlier. Fucking okay, just question since I think we lightly I've definitely talked about this a lot with at least you two. Fucking well, I hate like most fucking anime and shit. How would y'all feel if like Transformers got another like traditional 2D anime or something like that?
That would be pretty dope. I mean, if the
That'd be
story's
Yeah,
good.
good,
no, but here's the thing. I would, but if it came over here, I would only watch it depending on who localized it.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
If it's
it was
Funimation,
Funimation.
Yeah,
buddy,
no,
no.
dude.
Oh, Dios mío.
I mean, political shit aside, Funimation is just doesn't hot from like everything I've seen. They don't hire the best of translators. They often fucking like that was something I had heard about. I was watching a fucking video from what's his name, Dimitri Monroe, I think his name is. He's some fucking trap. Yeah, no, I'm well. That's not a joke, obviously. But I think there was a point made about like some recent Higurashi adaptation, how they like gave like a fucking translation for like the phrase Nini when there's no when that isn't a phrase of the translation. It's just a nickname. It's just like
Wasn't there also, I think Razor Fist posted this. There's another thing called, I think maybe an older one or something, but it was some sub gave, instead of enormous, they have ginormous.
Ginormous?
Yes.
Ginormous.
Yes.
Ginormous. Wow.
or like just or like there have been points where like I've seen like shit like removed out of like this isn't Funimation. This is like just like people who have like localized games and shit. So I don't get to. I think, like I said earlier, I think all of us would probably be down for something like that happening. I doubt it will. Like maybe a very big maybe. I don't know what kind of fucking audience. Does Japan still have a big audience for Transformers?
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
have
oh
big.
yeah, it
Okay,
does.
then
It
never
does.
mind. I'm not too familiar with it, so then I feel like that could definitely gain some buzz over there, and probably over here
Yeah.
since anime has just become part of like popular culture in the West as well. So
Yeah. Like, okay, with a lot
for better
with
or worse,
Japan, it's like
for better or worse,
this.
I'm not.
Yeah. My stance on with Japan in general, it's more just they're gonna make, they're going to have. I think they've been more involved. A lot. They're a lot more like cool with how we like stuff in the West does. So they might just end up recreating like some stuff over here if they do like an anime adaptation.
Anime Bayverse unironically would be based.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I find it funny that a lot of people like, oh, it's like, oh, this is so offensive to the Japan or whatever when they did like something like King of the Monsters, where they or stuff like happened in King of Monsters, but Japan's like, that's just a cool movie. So what are you talking about? This movie's awesome. It's like, stop
Dude,
thinking for them.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
I'm
let them think for
really,
themselves. They're not babies.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know,
calm
like
down.
they're not. I'm like, fuck you. You think Japan's really gonna care about that? They're like,
Yeah,
aren't they known for xenophobia?
yeah, they're very. Yeah,
they're
they're
known
known
for
for
that.
that.
They're known for
Yeah,
that.
like they don't give a
Oh,
shit.
stop
They don't
spoiling
care.
for me. He gets no
No,
laugh.
no. The thing I was gonna point out was like when people was like, "Oh, this is an insult to the Godzilla, for instance. This is an insult to Godzilla's mythology that they brought him. They tried to power him back with nuclear bombs or whatever." It's like Japan didn't care. Oh, GUK is offensive to the people in World War II. They didn't care. They thought it was an awesome movie. Stop speaking for them. Action and stop trying to moral fact.
You gotta remember, fucking. That's just what white women do.
It's not just white women. It's mostly just people who think that they think that.
I
Also, by the
know. I'm just saying that's something white women do.
Also, here's some food for thought. Did you know the original Godzilla that most people say a lot of these some like later films are an insult to? People in Japan at one point thought it was insensitive towards the stuff that happened, the bombings in Hiroshima. And only after reconsideration and looking back at it, that people started, like critics in Japan, and started loving it. Some food for thought.
Neat.
Huh.
Actually, didn't know that. But yeah, no, I think I have to say this again. because fuck you, Arkham. But yeah, no, I feel like myself and most people would be down for that sort of thing. But like, as for the actual anime fandom, though, if Funimation were to like if they were to like give like localization shit to Funimation, if again, this is all a big if this were to ever happen. This isn't like, oh, I've heard a rumor. No, I'm not like trying to like spread any false hype about that. Not that anyone shit, but yeah, no, I think that would be a huge detriment. But yeah, this is next thing, I suppose. Since the line is clearly, I guess, coming to a close, probably somewhere between like the next few months or even the tail end of or the beginning of next year. What I think it's fair to say the Kingdom line will be wrapping up shortly. So, what are your thoughts on it, like as it stands currently, not counting stuff that is yet to be released, like Galvatron and stuff like that?
Of the stuff I own, I've loved all the stuff I've gotten from Kingdom. Like Paleotrix and Cyclonus are amazing figures, some of the best of the War for Cybertron trilogy has to offer. Even in Paleotrix, I'm gonna say is easily hands down the weaponizer gimmick they made. He's the best of the batch. He's the absolute best. Yeah, so far what I can tell from Kingdom, I'm looking forward to it. I don't like most of the G1 stuff they're releasing, aside from Cyclonus and which I'm looking forward to. But like Warpath looks horrible. I know people's like, oh, but it's a good toy. You just have to give it a chance. Like, no, it's bad. It looks bad. It looks bad. Don't try to fool me. That disgusting face is not gonna still go away.
Again, it looks like chalk. The toy looks like chalk that would just grab and just draw a giant dick whip on the fucking sidewalk. That's what it looks like. It looks like a chalk stick.
I might get the core class stuff, but the Beast Wars stuff looks good. I know that people are mixed or not have very lukewarm feelings about Optimus Primal. I will judge when I get him. People like Megatron. I will judge when I get him. I've heard horror stories of Black Arachnia. I will judge when I get her. And Cheetor, I'm only getting for mainly just for the Beast Wars part. A Dinobot, I'm looking forward to getting, even though some people say the Dinobot mode's bad. The Dino mode's bad. Even it really isn't that bad. The only really bad thing about it is the hands. That's it.
I mean, as for me, I strongly disagree about Black Arachnia. Like, sure, that alt mode is kind of meh, but what were you?
No. I'm not talking about the figure. I'm talking about the QC issues that thing's been having.
Yeah, no, but I've been lucky, I guess, and I haven't messed with it too much. Like, I'll say Black Arachnia is good, but now I want a Silver Bolt.
I'm not saying the figure's bad. I probably like the toy. I'm just worried about that QC. I'm worried about that chest.
I mean, is it fair to say the fact that we got a Black Arachnia probably means we'll get a Silver Bolt?
We're definitely gonna get a Silver Bolt, man.
We're definitely gonna get a Silver Bolt.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I know that.
I got a few pose ideas. Hopefully, they don't end up falling off my shelf then.
Oh, so it could be like the other toys where it falls off your shelf and breaks.
Death charge moment.
Yo, fucking. Yo, both of them are shitty anime girls the one time, so it was kind of deserved.
Yeah. Why'd you buy them? Oh no, I know why you bought them.
One was cheap. One was cheap, and the other no comment.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Kingdom stuff. The other Kingdom figures. I have no interest in most of the G1 stuff like Trax or Hoffer. I have zero interest in those guys. They look terrible.
To be fair, though, Arkham, you have no right to judge me on that front. You said before you would buy a fucking Figma Satsuki, so...
No, wait, when did I say... I'm talking about the G1 figures.
No, you were talking about the stupid, the shit that fell down on my display. Fucking...
Oh, I was laughing. I'm not laughing at the fact that you're anime characters. I was laughing at the fact that they fell and broke.
Oh, no, I'm just messing with you, no, fucking...
I know.
I get it. You like bitches with big eyebrows, apparently.
Yes. Look, I like a woman with one. Look, I like a woman with one thing that's unusual about her. Okay.
A brow. a fucking
Yeah.
furrow brow.
Dude, he's about to start dating like fucking what's the word? Paraplegics or people like one leg missing or something like that.
Oh, it's gonna be like that one character from the Boys comic who like who's trying to get into like the pants of like a what was it? Not cripple. No, a disabled Olympic
Aww.
woman. Yeah, like she's
Oh,
bound, she's wheelchair bound, and this dude is like an absolute fucking crazy piece of shit simp towards this person. It's fucking crazy, man. The comic is like I've heard great things about the show, but that comic is like what the fuck,
wasn't there
dude?
the one line that was just "suck it" in that?
Oh yeah. Okay, so remember. Okay, so for those who've seen the show, you may know because the whole thing with the Deep and Starlight. The comics, it's even worse.
Yeah, it's
like this
worse.
over
I've
the
seen like
top.
a whole video series about the comic. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. I'm
It's
kind of
so-
glad. You know what? I'm glad they neutered it down. That's one of the few times where I'm like, I'm kind of glad they toned it down a little because they went with the original. That would not have been good. I don't think it would have translated well, and it would have been really awkward.
Okay. Well, I don't think any. I mean, if what you're saying, I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if I want to know. I've been informed of enough disturbing shit this last week. I've wanted to bash my head in enough falls, but I don't think the actors would have been willing to do it either.
Oh no, they would not have.
But yeah, no. But if I could get back to my thoughts on Kingdom, like I said, Black Arachne is good, but I want a Silverbolt now. Optimus Primal, I want to like him, but I just can't bring myself to care. Cyclonus is really good. Beastars Megatron is really good. Ractonite is kind of cringe, and Huffer is okay. So overall, like everything I own, and I still want to get stuff like Dinobot. I obviously want Galvatron. Scorponok looks pretty dope.
Scorpion looks good.
Yeah,
I know
that
people
looks
are. I know people are crying about him, like Perspective End. He cries about most things anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I know, like, it's like Scorpion looks fine. Looks fine. Yeah, it's not the Beast Wars model, but as I said before, change is good, and I hate accuracy to show models because that ruins a
And
toy.
sometimes the show accuracy shit works. Like for example, Frilling Ferdy Rhinox, right? Like that figure worked. It really did. But yeah, I mean, I will get after what Connor says. I'm gonna get to my thoughts about all this shit. But
Yeah, but outside of that though, there isn't too much left from Kingdom I want. Like maybe, just maybe, I'd consider Warpath, but like out of that first wave of deluxes, there just wasn't much that interested me. Like fucking aside from Black Arachnia, and yeah, no,
I mean,
honestly, she's a really good figure.
Cheetor looks good. I just don't like the character. Especially I love Beast Wars. I just don't care for the character very much. I still will get him because Beast Wars, and I can't. It's probably like one of the few times we'll get characters like that. I don't know the future for Transformers at this rate. But yeah. Otherwise, thoughts of Kingdom are it's better than Earthrise, but I still say I don't know. I don't own enough of it to say that it's better than Siege. Siege was such a surprise hit for me, and I got so many of them, and that's what got me really back into the franchise for sure. Was Siege, and I loved it. I love the designs of it. It's like that perfect balance between G1 accuracy and weirdo designs that I kind of love. And Earthrise was just a bastardization of that, and the only figures I actually loved from it were Skylinks and like a couple of others. Yeah, them so far is good. Really good.
What were you gonna say, Flame?
oh yeah, so my thoughts on Kingdom. I mean, I've only bought so far just like Earthrise and Siege stuff, but from what I've seen of Kingdom, I'm very impressed. I mean, really, you know how a movie trilogy is, right? So like you get two big hits, everybody loves them, and then after you get that one third stinker. Well, in this case, it's like an other way around. So like the first movie is good. The second movie is a piece of fucking shit. But like the third movie is like Kino. This is what pretty much the War for Cybertron trilogy is, right? And so what I've seen so far is like core class.
We're talking about the figures.
Well, I'm getting to the figures right now. The figures
Yeah.
are amazing from what I've seen. I mean, the core class is interesting. I like what they're doing with like, they're mixing pre-established characters with like, non-established characters, right? And that's cool. Like, I really like what they did with the Megatron from what I've seen. I mean, that core class Megatron, honestly, looks better than the Earthrise one, that's for sure. It has a proper head and everything. Prime is just a Prime. I mean, come on now. Starscream is, I've heard from people, pretty solid. Rat Trap, I've heard is pretty good. And what was that that female Predacon they introduced? Vertebrake, right? That's her name? Or something like that. Anyway, I've heard utter great things about that. And as a whole, I mean, we'll have to reveal if the other the other stuff they're going to release within that size class is cool too. Like the Soundwave, I'm definitely buying. I'm definitely buying that shit. And yeah, then there's the Deluxes. Now the Deluxes, from what I've seen as well, I mean, well, there is obviously you get those Earthrise repacks because we can't get enough of the Earthrise repacks, right? With RC and I don't know who else. I think RC is like the only one. If I believe so. But like the other deluxes are awesome. Like the fossilizers from what I've seen they look fun as hell. Huffer. I mean, the G1 stuff. I gotta say, I mean, it's like hit or miss. Like Huffer looks cool actually. I like his gun. Reminds me of a Spartan laser from Halo. It legit just looks like a Spartan laser, and I can't wait for the pipes repaint. Warpath looks like chalk. I've already said this before. Tracks. I mean, I'm gonna wait for a Road Rage because the one that they just revealed is just like iffy in my eyes. Like it doesn't look too right. You know what I mean? Like I get it. Like the reveal of the shield, I'm keeping that one. But with the reveal of the shield, at least that one had a more compact look to it. You know what I mean? Where it doesn't feel hollow. It's all like together, and like from what I've seen with just from seeing how this thing is probably going to transform, it's like it's not going to feel the same compact way that Reveal the Shield did, right? And
Also, I just don't like how I never liked the original G1 design at all. Then again, I think that G1 design accuracy or accuracy in general to a cartoon is a terrible idea and results in a bad figure as a whole. But
yeah, I mean it's the moment where I say, you know what, the masterpiece looks 10 times better here than it is on the fucking Generations offering. But the other stuff as well, like for Voyagers, I mean, Inferno I've heard is like a vastly improved version of like Grapple in many ways. That like the max, like now we're getting into like the actual Beast Wars shit. The Maximals I've heard are like awesome. Like Primal I've heard especially is really fun and worth the $40 because it comes with all this shit. It comes with his gauntlets. It comes with his swords. It has all this mechanical detail of the pistons and stuff. Like it's neat. And I've actually am considering buying him along with that Rat Trap and a Netflix 2-pack. Dinobot I've heard as well, and from what I've seen, looks beautiful. Like it just looks like this is what I call a mini masterpiece. Like that is, it looks so fucking cool. It looks really cool.
Looks great. Also, I forgot about Rat Trap as well. Rat Trap looks great. I'm gonna get him as well.
Yeah. And then there's like the Cyclonus, which I mean, I have the Universe. Oh wait, no. Reveal the Shield Cyclonus. I mean, that toy is good, but nowadays, looking at Earth Kingdom's Cyclonus, I mean, honestly, that is the definitive Cyclonus. And I guess everything that came before, I can say, would work very well if you're building up a armada. You know what I mean? Like, it would work really well as, like, Cyclonuses and, like, Cyclonuses, like, warriors, if you want to collect all of the Universo 8 repaints for that. But, that's cool. Leaders, I mean, there's the ER Prime. I mean, we've already know about that. Kingdom Magnus. So that is. I mean, the robot mode looks good. I'll give it that. Like, just the armored mode looks awesome, but the inner robot is scuffed as shit. I mean, oh my god, it looks like a Digibash come to life.
I might get Ultra because I'm a big Ultra Magnus fan. I've been becoming more of an Ultra Magnus fan as of lately. I might get a thing, but that's like a maybe. And there's like other figures I want to get more than him. Like
Yeah.
Megatron, I really want to get that Beast Wars Megatron because I love how that looks.
He's
Kingdom,
worth it.
I want to get Primal because I love how Primal looks. Even if his 8 was kind of iffy, I still love how that thing looks as a whole. A Rat Trap, Cheetah looks fine. Black Knight looks good. Dinobot looks amazing. Scorponok looks good. Like a lot of the Rat Trap looks good. I've never mentioned that, but yeah, just a lot of the Beast Wars stuff. I'm really impressed with. And the only thing I'm impressed with the G1 stuff, the only stuff I'm impressed with is Cyclonus and Galvatron. Otherwise, the most of the G1 stuff looks either horrible, like with Warpath and Huffer and Trax, or it's okay. I hate Huffer's design. I hate Huffer's design, so that probably does not help.
Oh no, I never said he had a good design. I just said the figure is fine.
And like Magnus looks okay in roll. It looks fine in his powered up. His full mode. It's just the other modes, and I'm not too fond of. Yeah, that's. Yeah, let's continue.
Another. But like, yeah, with Magnus, it's just the vehicle mode. I mean, that it's okay, but could have been better, way better. But I mean, like you, Arkham, I might buy Kingdom Magnus. I might, but yeah. But then we're gonna talk about the big boy here, and that's Megatron. Now, I already own a Beast Wars Megatron. That being like the 10th anniversary, 2006 Toys R Us exclusive reissue. But I mean, I gotta say, this one looks good. But I mean, I'm probably gonna skip on it because I already have the character. So there's no really much of a need for me, at least, to get another version of it, right? I mean, yeah. What other shit released? So far, I think that's it. I mean, in terms of reveals, I mean, the reveals, not new stuff, woohoo! But
I think we already covered the reveals.
Yeah.
And, with everything, I think that about wraps it up. Y'all really got anything else to say, or?
Nope.
No, not really. No.
All right, then that concludes this. That concludes today's episode of Darkmount After Dark. Fucking subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Discord server. All these guys' links will be in the description. Thank y'all and have a good one. Peace out.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. Morning.
Where the fuck is this stupid? All right, there it is. All these guys' links will be in the description. Thank y'all and have a good one. Peace out.